I know you want to see cool animations of moves and such, but you know, I don't want to sit through 10 seconds of animation. Does your butthurt brain understand that 15-second long animations for each attack would make battles just extremely long and tedious? You are using Battle Revolution as a comparison point. Those animations take forever. They are horrendously slow. That double kick in Revolution, while certainly well animated and full of life, took way longer than it should have done. I don't need to see the same 10-second animation 30 times a match. Dude, do you want your fights to last 3 hours? I don't, so it's alright. For some reason, people associate high quality animation with slow duration. Therefore, it's okay to have the horrible animations found in Sword and Shield because they're faster. This, along with many of the arguments supporting Sword and Shield, make absolutely zero sense, and are void of basic logic. Let me make a quick edit and show you how nonsensical these statements are.
The stage is set and the curtain is up. The stage is set and the curtain. Bam!
What do you know? You can have high quality animations and have the animation itself be fast. My edited animation is 2 times faster than the animation that we're getting, and it looks a million times better. I'm also confident that the superior hardware capabilities of the Nintendo Switch could further optimize these animations and make the interactions even faster. The word flashy is often used as a euphemism for high quality animation. With the context of animation, the word flashy is used to downplay high quality animation, to make it seem less superior to whatever they're comparing it to. Here, I'll show you a really good example. Those aforementioned games' only focus is the fighting, so that's their selling point. The animations better look flashy or else. Now let's read that again, except let's swap out flashy for high quality. Those aforementioned games' only focus is the fighting, so that's their selling point. The animations better look of high quality or else. They use the word flashy to downplay the quality of animations found in PBR to make their argument appear stronger than it actually is. People also love to make the distinction between fast animations and high quality animation. I, along with the vast majority of the fanbase, would much rather prefer something quick over something flashy. What Christopher James actually said is, I, along with the vast majority of the fanbase, would much rather prefer something quick over something of high quality. Not only is he admitting that Sword and Shield have low quality animations, he is also claiming that animations cannot be of high quality and also fast. As we established earlier, it can be both. Double kick is a move that gets removed really often and fast in a playthrough. Wow! One move animation of double kick, a very basic and simple move with no special properties, has a basic animation. I mean, one of the points of evidence is double kick. This is a move that very little Pokemon get and that is easily overshadowed by other moves. Y'all for real mad about double kick? The move is so simple and self-explanatory. So, the logic behind these arguments is that something shouldn't be animated because it will be used less than other things. That's like saying Link in Breath of the Wild shouldn't be able to interact with a tree branch because you will immediately throw it away once you find a sword. That's like saying Scorbunny shouldn't be animated because it's going to evolve anyways. Alex made a good point. Why even animate the entire Shield game when more people will buy Sword? As you can see, this logic is quite foolish. The perceived significance of an attack should not dictate its level of animation quality. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. Then don't get it. Yeah, so the don't buy argument is a very common one, and it's usually reserved for people that don't have an actual defense. I actually think the people that resort to this kind of tantrum are actually self-aware of the low quality of the thing that they're defending. They can't think of a justifiable reason or defense of why something is the way it is, but for some reason they feel obligated to defend Gamefreak at all costs. Therefore they have to say something, even though what they're saying doesn't mean anything at all, and has no argumentative merit whatsoever. You really don't know the first thing about making a game and how much is spent making one. Until you become a video game designer, you can't call anyone lazy. How about you try creating new animations for 800 plus Pokemon and let's see how easy it'll be. So again, these arguments are very similar to the don't buy the game argument in the sense that it is the bottom of the barrel in terms of defensive arguments. The type of people that leave these sorts of comments really have no defense and no justifiable reason for why something is the way it is. But they feel obligated to at least say something to show and prove to everyone that they support Gamefreak. You don't need to be a video game designer to critique video games. That's like saying all the movie critics over at Rotten Tomatoes are not able to critique any movie because they've never directed a movie of their own. The logic behind these comments is severely flawed. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to see that the animations found in Sword and Shield are not of the highest quality. I don't think it's fair to compare PBR to an open world game. Give me a break, animating is hard. Like, isn't the game open world? No, Pokemon Sword and Shield is not an open world game. They have a large field with a controllable camera. Do you know what else had a large field with a controllable camera? Ocarina of Time for the N64. This is not a revolutionary concept in any way. It was done 20 years ago. I know the Pokemon fans are starving for something new, so the second Game Freak makes an open field, they're all of a sudden praising Sword and Shield like it's some crazy open world game, when it's not even close. The people that make these types of comments have never played an actual open world game, otherwise they would never say something so offensive. It's disrespectful to compare Sword and Shield to actual open world games, like Skyrim or Breath of the Wild. The teams behind those games had to put blood, sweat, tears, and an insane amount of effort to bring the world to life, and to receive the title of open world game. Game Freak generated a comparatively small and empty area with awful textures, and then they dumped reused Pokemon models with reused animations and called it a day. I don't want Galvantula just randomly popping out of the ground. I want to walk into a cave and look up and see a spiderweb and then see Galvantula in that spiderweb. You know, something that a spider actually does. I don't want Haunter randomly popping out of the ground. I want to come across a seemingly abandoned building that is most likely haunted, and then to have Haunter appear out of nowhere and jump me in an attempt to scare me. I don't want Machoke randomly popping out of the ground. I want to see Machoke bench pressing a tree in the distance, because that's just something that Machoke would do in his spare time. This is the ambition and effort that people want from a Pokemon Switch title that is, unfortunately, sorely absent from Sword and Shield. Can you stop being immature and spreading your toxicity? Here we go again with the complaints. Just hop on the hate bandwagon. Your hate is painfully strong. Stop with the negative videos already. Wow, so toxic. People, for some reason, perceive criticism as a complaint filled with toxicity and hatefulness, when it's in fact the exact opposite of that. Criticism is a powerful tool that is used to help illuminate issues about whatever is being criticized. People cry and complain that you shouldn't criticize a demo, when in actuality that is the absolute perfect time for a game to receive criticism. Why do you think developers release open betas of their unfinished games to the public? It's to generate criticism so that developers can go in and correct any outstanding issues before retail release. 50 million new eyes can catch problems much easier than a few hundred that are already constantly working on the game. That's why you get a friend to proofread your essay before you hand it in. There's one more magic word that people like to use when they're criticizing your criticism: entitled. This is the biggest example of Pokemon fans being the most entitled, spoiled, and ungrateful fans in the world. Let me explain to you why using the word entitled in this context is the most idiotic statement you could ever make. You are not entitled for expecting high quality from products/services that you pay for with your own money. Were Mario Maker fans entitled for wanting to play online with their friends? No! Being able to play online with your friends in a multiplayer game has been industry standard for well over a decade now. So when people excited for Mario Maker 2 learned that they couldn't play with their friends online, they got understandably upset. They voiced their concerns and raised awareness using valid criticism. And guess what? It worked! Nintendo is working on a way to allow friends to play together online. Were Sonic fans entitled for wanting his visual representation in the film to be adjusted? No! They used their eyes and then made a basic observation by comparing the abomination in the Sonic film to what Sonic actually looks like, to come up with the conclusion that Sonic didn't look quite right in the film. The Sonic fans were understandably upset. So they voiced their concerns and raised awareness using valid criticisms. And guess what? It worked! Jeff Fowler, the director for the upcoming Sonic movie, had this to say. Thank you for the support and the criticism. The message is loud and clear. You aren't happy with the design and you want changes. It's going to happen. Everyone at Paramount and Sega are fully committed to making this character the best he can be. That is all criticism aims to achieve. To make the source of the criticism the best that it can be. When you walk into a restaurant, what do you expect? You expect to be seated promptly and for your servers to be courteous. Are you entitled for having these expectations? No, because the restaurant is providing you a service that you are paying money for. So the next time someone calls you entitled for criticizing a product or service that you pay money for, remember this. They do not know what the word entitled means, and they have nothing better to do than to criticize your criticism with criticism. Staying silent or pretending that the game is in good shape when it actually is not is way more harmful than criticism will ever be. Well you guys, that's it for this video. I apologize if I missed your Pokemon PBR suggestion down in the comments. There were just way too many comments to sort through them all. To avoid this problem in the future, make sure to include hashtag PBR followed by the name of the Pokemon that you want to be in the PBR footage. That will allow me to sort through all suggested comments with Control F to help me actually find your comment. Stay tuned for part 3, and always remember, don't settle for less, fight for more. Thanks for watching you guys.